Hello, it's time again for Kato Reviews. I'm looking good, feeling good, loving life. I hope things are going the same for you. Today, just a few quick notes. First of all, I'm quickly finding out starting a YouTube channel is difficult. Sometimes I think maybe I should look for another line of work.
I hear that TNA is hiring.
Hey! Come on, Kurt. It was uncalled for. So let's get into it. This is the type of match that I really want to spend time on. These are the matches that I think in this premise is really going to help people grow and get better as performers. So we're going to take a few minutes. This is a quick hitter. The matches only last maybe 7 minutes or so. But it was sent in by, believe it or not, Ryan Edmonds. He said, go ahead. Don't be too critical. But I'm going to be as honest as I can about the match. I did watch it twice, took some notes. Let's go ahead and take a look, see what we think. So here you go, you got Ryan Edmonds on the outside, Dash Wilder, who at the time his name was Stephen Walters, but he hadn't quite made it to WWE yet. He's now Dash Wilder in the WWE. I'm also told ahead of time this was match 1 on the show. So, match 1, you know what I'm going to say right off the bat. Match 1 is different than every other match on the card. And the reason is, you see all these people that are sitting outside, they've been waiting for wrestling for a while. They want to see action. So it's our job in match 1 to present us something a little different than everything else. So, match 1. You always want to come out a little hot. Always come out, give them something, give them some fire right out the bat. Don't do the stalling. This is more for the other matches on the card. And I'd go even so far as to say the match immediately after intermission, you maybe want to make the intros and the heat getting a little longer to give everybody time to get back in their seats. Here we go. Good strong lockup. I like that a lot. A good lockup can tell a good worker a lot of what they need to know about the match right off the bat. Boom. Good way to get heat right off the bat. Simple. Tried to take a shortcut. It didn't work out. The babyface was quicker, smarter. Good. Grab a headlock. All right, right back into the headlock. I might have wanted to pick things up a little quicker here, especially considering it's match 1. I think that's the toughest thing. That's a tough thing for a lot of guys to understand, the difference between being in match 1 as opposed to match 6. Shoulder tackle, I like the spot. The reason being, it really shows, a smaller babyface fighting a bigger heel. Got a big mountain to climb. Babyface is always smarter, always out wrestling the heel. As I come to find out later out throughout the story of the match, and I'll just cue you in right now. It looks like that's his finish. That's what he uses for a finisher, is the crippler crossface. Look at that, nice and flashy. Give them something to get up out of their seat about. Good stuff. I like this. This is good. Now is the time, if you're in match 1, this is where you get your heat, not before the match. After you give them something to get excited about, you get them, you get outside, you get yourself a little bit of rest. Heel backs off, get your heat. This is good stuff. All right, babyface the outside. Okay, a little awkward getting outside there. Good spot though. I mean, boom, big cutoff. And there's your starter heat, and let's stop. Okay, so I did take a few notes. I just don't want to miss anything. Again, I like the strong lockup. I like the duck out. Good timing. Good time to get heat, like I talked about. The only thing I'd probably mention is felt a little awkward getting out of the ring, but in a lot of ways it was good because they told the story of getting grabbed and pulled back in and cut off. So yeah, I like that. That's really good. Classic cutoff. I think the one thing you got to be careful of in today's sort of oversaturation of wrestling is that you're not getting something that, like, try to be creative. Heels, try to find something different. You can still, I love a good cheek cutoff, and you should, especially if you're in a new town. Get a good cheek cutoff, but try to be creative with your cutoffs. Give everybody something different that they haven't seen before. So let's go ahead and we just got the cutoff for the heat, and we're going to go from there. Backs them in, back elbow. Quick cover, and a headlock. Okay, we're not going to stop. We're just going to talk. One thing I like to do, I always thought it was a good idea, break out a big move immediately after maybe dropping that. Back elbow's fine, but I maybe would have, whatever body part you want to work during the heat, maybe accentuate it right there. Let's say I was going to work the arm. After that, draping on the ropes, I might have slid in quickly, grabbed an arm, hit a single arm DDT, something big, so the babyface really has something big to sell. A hope spot here, an extended hope spot, followed up with a knee. Execution good, no problem there. Anything I'd maybe say is really early for a hope spot, and really long extended hope spot for a very short match. I'm fully in favor of baby faces, staying alive, but think about what's coming up next. After this is a comeback, and if you're never in any real danger of losing the match, what are you coming back from? Like in a football game, if you're only down by 3 points, you're not really coming back whenever you take the lead. You've just, now it's your turn to score. Whereas if you're down by 21 points and you score, you really come back, and that's a comeback. So, and we can create that situation every time we have a wrestling match. For me, right here, now this is a perfect hope spot. One boot, followed up, heel cuts him right back off. Boom. That is a good cutoff. That's a quick little hope spot that makes sense, especially considering the length of the match. You know me, I'm always going to complain about guys getting picked up. Make him work to get up. Punch him in the head, and he can sort of sell up into that slam. This is good, though. Guys rarely do this. Guys and girls rarely do this. Where you seem like right at the end of the heat, you really got him in big trouble. And it's sort of that darkest before the dawn comeback scenario, right before you get into the comeback, where it seems like, the babyface is in so much trouble, there's no way he's coming back, and then there it is, he comes back. I was warned ahead of time about that elbow drop. Execution was a little lacking, but it wasn't a disaster, especially if you moved like that. It was fine. If he would have been hitting that elbow, it might have been a different story. Okay, we're in the comeback for sure. Quick note here. The things I want to cover is the fact that he didn't go from zero to hero. He went right. He sort of built into this comeback. It wasn't like, I'm in terrible shape in the heat. 1 minute. 1, 2, and kick out. Okay, we're going to stop right there. So he just kicked out. A few of the notes that I took here. Of course, again, I mentioned punctuate the heat with something bigger. Again, don't give too much fire. I hope you guys were all on board with that and understood that. That if you're as a baby face, I know baby faces today don't want to look weak, but if you're not in much trouble, what are you coming back from? And the comeback is so important to a white meat, trying to make money baby face. You want people to love you and believe in you. Guys that trained with me at PWX toward the end, where I came out and helped a little bit, got so sick and tired of hearing me say this. But the important thing in wrestling is liked and disliked will keep the crowd the same. The people that are there will still keep coming. Loved and hated will grow the crowd. So what your goal should be is, I want people to love me or I want people to hate me. But liked and disliked don't really draw money. It keeps the crowd the same. Don't pick a guy up. Let's see. Make him work to get up. And then as far as the comeback, I really like the comeback. I hope guys and girls out there that watch this really take note of how he didn't just go from, I'm okay now, to, Now we're building. The only thing I may want to touch on here is just two quick notes. The one thing I always like is at the end of building the comeback, which you did a great job. You stand up, and what I always described it as is bow up. Bow up, show your face to the crowd, open yourself up, make yourself look big, so the fans know. All right, I've taken all I'm going to take. Lawler would pull down the strap, or Hogan would. I'm not saying do what they do because they were unique, special talents, but, everybody in the world that's wrestling can take that moment at the end of building their comeback and sort of bow up and just, wild-eyed and, I'm going to, whatever your character would do there, but you're taking that moment to breathe it in and let the fans know, shit's about to happen right now. I'm gonna knock this guy out. And then the other thing that he did that I love, and I don't see enough of it on the indies, is at the end of his comeback, he hit a move and went for the cover. All too often, I see at the end of a comeback, the first guy that's going for a pin is the heel. Like they'll fire up, and then the heel cut him off and hit a big move and 1-2 kick out. Look, it's like writing a sentence. Your comeback is like writing a sentence. If you wrote the whole sentence and then don't put any punctuation at the end of it, like the sentence is worthless. Put that exclamation point on the end of it by hitting your big move and hitting something that people believe, oh shit, this is it. I mean, my babyface hero just won. So again, to reiterate, build. Then at the end of it, whenever you really at the end of rocking and reeling them, stop. And then boom, big move. Not your finish, if that's not the finish, but it can be. If you want to go home out of that, that's a great time to go home. Okay? So, that's the only thing I maybe would have liked to have seen change, is that big bow up moment. And whatever your character would do, that's what you should do. Okay, let's go. Now he's rallying the crowd here, going for his finish. I would say I don't like the transition there from, like, it could have done something a little more fun there, just instead of just grabbing it. And the other thing is maybe they should have listened to the crowd there, because even though they went into it oddly, they didn't listen to the crowd. The crowd was going to start getting with it, and if you maybe could have held on to that for another 15 seconds, really got them to sort of, But then after that, the transition into Edmonds hitting his finish was, or not his finish, but a big kick, which looked great. And I don't know what he uses for finish now, but I mean that looks pretty good to me. Swinging back into the crippler crossface, and now we're waiting. Now this time we're really waiting. Tease the tap out. Nope, he's not going to tap out. He's going to get to the ropes. Almost there. Babyface. Out wrestling that heel. Changed over. Got him to tap out. Beautiful. Love it. Great finish. Beautiful. Good match. Heel did the right thing. Okay, that's the end of it. Heel did the right thing. He rolled out. Just let the babyface have the ring after that. I mean, you're if you're a good worker, you're going to work again next weekend. So, your work is done at that point. You've put the babyface over. You made him look like $1 million. Just get out of the ring. Go get ready for tomorrow, or go get ready for next week. But that's it. So, all right. So, I just want to cover a few things at the end. Just real quick, and he did a good job of it here. Ryan Edmonds did a good job of not topping out right away, because at the end of the day, even though there's subtle little mind games that a heel plays, don't tap out immediately, because you still want people, unless you have just like your character is, I'm a complete wimp and I win, or I never win, or B, I only win under strange circumstances. If you're any type of guy that you want people to invest in as a heel, you don't want to tap out right away. You want people to believe that, this guy's a tough guy. I mean, he's not going to be an easy out next time he comes to town. So take your time. Don't tap out right away on that stuff. Don't be an easy pin. I guess that's pretty much wraps it up on that match. I'll say this. I really liked that match. I thought it was really good. I thought it told a good story. The only thing maybe I would say is, let's and it's not their fault. I mean, promoter probably decided this. Let's give the opening match a little more time. Maybe 10 to 12. I think that'll allow the guys to tell a more full story. If you have guys that are only worth 6 or 7 minutes, and every show sort of has those, then match one's not the right spot for them. First off, you really need good guys as a booker to start off your show, and that was a good match to start the show. Outside of the stalling at the beginning, I just want to look over my notes real quick, make sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah, I guess that's it. I do appreciate Ryan Edmonds sending this in. I hope some more of you guys and girls send some matches in. Don't be offended if I'm critical. I'm just trying to help, and that's it. Thank you guys for tuning in today. I really had fun with this one. I think this is going to be more of a format going forward as long as I can get these kind of matches. In closing, let me say, guys, girls, please stop having shitty matches. You're ruining my life.